A very good morning to my lecturer and my classmates as well. We are from Group 3 and today we'll be presenting our project titled School as a Social System. My name is Jasna binti Mama Afisundar, so I'll be doing the introduction part. As education is one of the most important institutions in society, but it does not only focus on academic knowledge, but it's also plays an important role as a major role in shaping students' behavior and also their values, social development. And in school, students get to learn discipline, responsibility, moral values in, for example, in pendidikan moral and pendidikan Islam, communication skills, and also in social interaction. Therefore, school is not only a place for to learn subjects but also a place for social development as well. Sociology of education. So, sociology of education studies shows that how education gets to influenced by society and how society is influenced by the education. So, it focuses on student behavior, social inequality, family background, peer influence, and also school environment which influence them. So, this shows that education is deeply connected to social structure. So, school as a social system. A school is considered a social system because it consists of different groups that interacts together, where it starts from students, teachers, parents, school administration, and also the community as well. This group works together to ensure students to develop academically and also socially, but if one part fails, such as lack of parental support, it can affect the student performance as well. So a school functions like a mini society since they get to interact each other, and also why we say it as a mini society, because we have to work along and interact with each other as well. So that's why we name it as a mini society in school.
Hello, my name is Kelly and I'll be presenting about the methodology and the teacher's background from our presentation. So for this study, we used a qualitative research method where we conducted a semi-structured interview using Google Meet with a retired secondary school teacher. So this interview was actually recorded with the teacher's permission, and it's transcribed in summarized form and analyzed using thematic analysis. So for the video evidence, we recorded the interview and uploaded it as a YouTube link or QR code as it was required in the assignment instructions. But a short clip is included in the presentation to support our findings. So for ethical reasons, the teacher's personal name will not be included in the report, so we will just refer to him as a retired secondary school teacher. This is a standard academic practice to protect respondent privacy. So next, I'll be talking about the teacher's background. So this teacher is actually a retired teacher with 23 years of experience in the Malaysian education system. He actually taught quite a few range of subjects. He taught Bahasa Malaysia, he taught history, or as known as sejarah, he taught physical education, English, pengajian am. So from his teaching background, he actually started teaching in Sekolah Menengah Badawi in Penang. He started at 20 years old as a temporary teacher teaching pengajian am for Form 6 for 6 months. After 6 months, he taught English to Form 1 and Form 2 for the next 4 years in the same school. After Sekolah Menengah Badawi in Penang, he went to Sungai Petani at the age of 24, where he had started his college life and graduated with diploma in Pengajian Melayu. After Sungai Petani, he taught 1 year in a Chinese school the name was not mentioned by him. The location was also not mentioned, But afterwards, he went to Sekolah Menengah Sri Perak, where he had taught Sejarah and Bahasa to Form 5 and Form 1 after his college life. And then afterwards, he went to Sekolah Menengah Jenis Kebangsaan Sin Min in Kedah, where he taught Form 4 and Form 5 Physical Education and Art Visual. But because he was appointed to be the discipline master, he was not able to teach major subjects such as English or Bahasa Melayu or Maths. But sometimes he will be teaching Pendidikan Moral, which is known as moral education. So for his qualifications, he holds, like I mentioned before, the first one is Diploma in Pengajian Melayu. The second one will be degree in history, or known as Sejarah. He graduated with that in USM. The third one, he holds certificates in physical education and art visual. He also served as the head of discipline. But in 2007, he retired as a teacher in the Malaysian education system. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lanisha, and today I will be presenting about two important issues in education, which are school dropouts and low academic achievement. These problems are closely connected because students who struggle in school are more likely to lose motivation and eventually drop out. First, I will talk about the causes of school dropouts based on the interview video that we did. So one major cause is financial problems. Some families cannot afford school expenses such as transportation, books, uniforms, or internet access. Because of this, student may feel pressured to stop studying and help support their family instead. Another cause is lack of parental support. So when parents are not involved in their children's education, students may feel unsupported and less motivated to continue school. Parents play an important role in encouraging and guiding their children. Family issues also contribute to school dropouts. Problems such as divorce, constant conflict at home, or lack of care can affect a student emotionally and mentally. So, when students face stress at home, it becomes difficult for them to focus on their studies. Next is peer influence. Friends can strongly influence a student's behavior. If students mix with friends who skip classes and do not value education, they may start doing same things as eventually lose interest in school. Another factor is low motivation. Some students feel that education is too difficult or believe they cannot succeed. So, but without encouragement or clear goals, they may slowly give up on learning. Lastly, emotional stress can also lead up to school dropouts. Uh, Stress, anxiety, or personal problems can make students feel overwhelmed. When students do not receive emotional support, they may decide to leave school completely. So, from this interview, we can see that school dropout is not only caused by one issue, it is usually a combination of financial, family, social, and emotional problems that reduce students' interest in education. Now, I'm gonna move on to the second issue, which is low academic achievement. So, low academic achievement means students are unable to perform well in their studies or get poor results in their school. So, for one reason for these weak study habits, some students do not manage their time properly, revise consistently, or complete their homework. Without effective study habits, it becomes difficult to understand lesson and improve academically. Another reason is lack of interest in learning. Students who do not enjoy subject or classroom activities may not pay attention or participate actively. This This affects their understanding and performance. Low self confidence is also an important factor. Some students are afraid to ask questions or answer in class because they think they are not smart enough. This fear can stop them from improving and learning from mistakes. Next, language difficulties can affect academic achievement, especially for students who are not fluent in language they use in school. When students struggle to understand instructions or lesson, they may fall behind academically. Poor guidance at home is another issue. Some parents may to be too busy to help with homework or monitor their children's progress. Without support and encouragement at home, students may not stay focused on their studies. Finally, distraction from social media is a common problem today. Many students spend too much time on their phones, watching videos, or scrolling through social media instead of studying. This reduces concentration and affects academic performance. In conclusion, low academic achievement is influenced by both the school environment and the home environment. Teachers, parents, and students must work together to overcome these challenges by giving students more support, motivation, and guidance so we can help them stay in school and achieve better academic results. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Raiziat, and I'll be presenting about student attitudes and the impact on society. Based on what the teacher shared with us during our interview, so when we spoke up to the teacher, he gave us a pretty honest picture of how students are nowadays, and it's actually mixed. There are positive things, but there are also some concerns. Starting with positives, students today are more creative than before. They're also very tech savvy, meaning they're really comfortable using technology. And they tend to be quick learners. They pick things up faster than previous generations. So honestly, there's a lot of potential in today's students. But here's where it gets a bit tricky. The teachers also mentioned some negative attitudes that he's noticed. A lot of students are easily distracted. Many of them have low focus in class. Their minds are elsewhere or they're on their phones. And a big reason for that is they're too dependent on gadgets. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Technology helps them learn faster, but at the same time, it's affecting their attention span. The teacher said it himself, technology brings benefits, but it also creates distractions. And that's something worth thinking about as we move forward. Okay, so now I want to talk about how these student attitude issues can actually affect society as a whole. You might be thinking, okay, students are distracted, so what? But here's the thing, when students don't get proper education, it doesn't just affect them personally, it affects all of us. So let me walk you through the impacts. First, it leads to an increase of unemployment. If young people don't develop the right skills or don't finish their education, it becomes more harder for them to find jobs later on. Second, we end up with lower education quality overall. When large numbers of students are disengaged, the standard of education drops across the board. Third, we start seeing more social problems among youth. Things like disciplinary issues, negative peer influence, and lack of direction. These don't stay in the classroom, they spill out into the community. Fourth, these are fewer job opportunities for the future, not just for individual students, but for the country's workforce as a whole. And finally, all of this can slow down national development, economic growth, innovation, the country's progress. It all depends on having an educated and capable generation. So, education is never just about getting good grades, it's about producing responsible individuals who can contribute to society. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, hi madam, my name is Shakib and I'm the fifth speaker on this group. So, I am going to be talking about the solutions that we found together as a group. So, based on the findings, we suggest that stronger cooperation between school, parents, and community. it can increase parent involvement, counseling support for students, engaging teaching methods, motivation and reward systems, and better teach parent communications. So that is easy for students to like being more cooperative with the school environment, and same goes for the parents. So since they had their time with the teachers, they can talk to the teachers so that they both can create some kind of connection to make them feel like what is the best solution for them and what's the best for their child also. So for our group, we came up with our own opinion. So like in our opinion, school dropout and low achievement issues are not caused by students alone, but they are influenced by family backgrounds, emotional well-being, environment, peer pressure, and social factors. Therefore, schools must create a supportive learning environment so that the students won't feel any bad energy towards themselves, to prove, like example, to prove to their parents that they should be better every time. And for me as a student as well, I used to feel pressured a lot by my parents, and for me to not think that way is just me being myself and not feeling like I don't need to rush things more forward. I just need to take my time and try my best, my very best, so that I can achieve those steps, even though it's slow, but I believe that I can achieve those kind of levels that I wanted.
This is an important part, which is transcript clarification. I would like to say that we didn't attach transcript in our report because we actually brief the transcript into discussion area, so it will look way more structured and well organized as well, madam. So we would like to clarify that as well, as the interview was recorded with the sir's permission. Responses were analyzed thematically, and the teacher did say that he didn't want to include his name in the report as it's a privacy kind of thing. So as confidential, we didn't add his name. On behalf, we put it as a retired teacher, and we also summarize, as I said, as we also summarize the transcript into the discussion part. Although a full word for word transcript is not included in the key interview responses, but it was fully integrated as a brief into the report. So I would say that as a clear thing so that madam gets to know about it. I will be doing the conclusion part. So in conclusion, school actually plays an important role as a social system in shaping students academically and also socially. However, education is not the responsibility of teachers alone, but it also requires a lot of cooperation between school, parents, and also the society as well. So with a strong collaboration, these issues can be reduced, and also students get to be way more comfortable to talk with teachers as well, and teachers uh, get to work with the students way more easier, as social system it's way more wider and way more interesting as well, as I could say. So that's all from us. Thank you, madam.